A client-server network is a network which provides a service to multiple clients, and the computer lab that you're using at school is most likely set up in a client-server network as well, as in you log on with a username and password, access is granted by a server, and then your profile or your files are downloaded and made available to use on that particular computer. So a server will provide a service to multiple clients, for example, files, databases, or hardware, and clients will access the services by sending requests to the server. These requests are processed by the server, and a suitable response will be sent back. Most of the internet relies on client-server networks, as will most business networks as well. When you access websites, you'll also be using a client-server network too. So if we take this one as an example here, we'll just show you some basics of the order in which things will happen. So this is computer A, and it wants to log on to a network. So the username and password is typed in by computer A, and it goes to the server, which is the authorization server, which will then check that the username and password has been entered correctly. What will then be sent back is a message saying access has been granted, and then further requests will be sent either to this server or other servers saying, right, please can you send me my personal files, please can you send me the software that I need to use today, and so on. What will then happen after that is the user can then use this computer for whatever purposes they need on that particular time, and if they need to send any further requests, like they need to send email or they need to access the internet, they will then subsequently send further requests to a server on a network. Now, it's not uncommon for larger networks to have maybe 4 or 5 servers that you access at any particular moment in time. Like there might be one for printing, there might be one for accessing the internet, one for your personal files, one for separate software, there might be one for email. Lots of different uses and lots of different reasons for accessing software, but a client-server network is a really efficient way of doing things because you store things centrally on a server. So just to kind of round this off then, if we look at some of the advantages and disadvantages, the advantages are that it's easy to keep track of files as they're kept in a central location. It's much easier to perform backups of files because rather than having to access individual machines, you can just take one copy of a backup from the server and it's all located on there. It's easy to roll out software updates because the server will have the update and then it will send it out to the individual machines. We can manage security centrally, so there's no issues with having individual access rights and nothing that individual users can kind of change or do on a computer. And because the server is always on, it provides access to resources at all times of the day. Now, there are some disadvantages in that it can be expensive to set up. It does require an IT specialist to be able to do it and people that are trained in networking. It is dependent on the server, so if the server goes down, the whole networks are inaccessible. The whole network is inaccessible, files are inaccessible, and it cannot be used. And if the server becomes overloaded, then it can really slow the network down, and it can have sort of like drastic consequences in terms of the performance of the network overall as well.